What's up guys, Celestial here again, bringing you another guide. And before we get into the whole Bonds of Friendship VR mission, I'm going to show you guys how I actually did this, because you need to learn Zack in order to actually beat that mission. Having Cloud, like if you're good enough with Cloud and you have like a broken build, maybe you could do it, but I just use Zack most of the time and I managed to do it, so I'm going to show you how he actually works. So if you guys have tried the mode before, you know that Zack has this charge mode where he can charge up his basically charges up his Buster Sword, and then he gets access to level 2 and level 3, which boost his abilities. So Meteor Shots and Chain Slash become stronger. But then at level 3, he gets access to this. So it doesn't matter how far you are into level 3. So if it goes down to about this much and it's just about to run out and you have time to do it, you can still use High Braver. High Braver is one of the most broken moves in this entire game. It does basically limit break damage, but for only having to do the charge up move. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, but Celestial, I can't just stand there and charge while the enemies are trying to beat the crap out of me. True, you can't, but there is actually a way to boost this without charging it. So during his combos, it actually explains it in this tutorial thing. It's quite hard to do it against these enemies because they're really weak. Like, I wish I could actually show you against stronger enemies. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. Right, I'm going to actually show you guys in Bonds of Friendship how it actually works, and then I'll show you the full video of my first run and I'll explain kind of what's happening. So just to show you how the actual charge up move works. So Zack, Cloud, yep, let's go. Right, so watch my bar down the bottom left. Already charged up to level 3. And you want to know how I do that? You can actually do it by just hitting the attack button. So I'll show you again. So attack, press triangle, attack, press triangle. So when you do your first attack, you have an opportunity to do triangle. So the very first hit you do, it'll do a quick charge. You can also quick charge after you like parry or block anything, which is actually pretty good as well. I didn't realize that until later on in the fight. But if I do attack, quick charge, attack again, he will charge again, and then you can press square one more time and it will charge up again. So you can basically do a level 3 charge in one combo. And as you can see, quick charge actually comes up when you're getting attacked as well. So if you parry, you can quick charge right after that. So if you get really good with the parries, you can actually make this kind of broken. So let's show you again, just so you guys kind of get how it works. So it's kind of hard when Titan's all over me, but let's just quickly show you before I get into showing you my actual successful attempt. So let's get away from him first, just so he can stop flailing around. Right, attack, charge, attack again, attack one more time, and charge. You would have been able to charge to level 3 there. But then if you're not comfortable with that, you can just do the normal attack. So there you go, charged after that. Granite Shell, he's probably going to hit me with that. Attack. Sometimes it doesn't actually work on the third attack. So for example, most of the time when I was playing this, I would just attack once, charge, and then attack, which will build the bar a bit higher. Sometimes the second attack doesn't work. So for example, if I try and show you guys here. So attack, charge. It's quite hard when he's doing this. Alright, let's retry that just so I can show you guys, because you need to actually get really good with this in order to blast through this. Right, so while he's doing this, I'll attack him so you can see. So square, charge, square, square again, charge, square, charge, and then you charge right after that. So you'd have a level 3 there. Charge, attack, there you go. And as you'll see in a second, look at how much damage that does. You can actually insta-break Titan's shield when he does this. So for example, I can break it instantly now. Well, I would have been able to if I actually pressed square at the right time there. But yeah, there's still a little bit of timing to do with High Braver, but once you get the timing down for the charge, you're pretty much golden. And you'll be able to get this off 90% of the time. charge, attack, charge. Already level 3 again. High Braver. Can you see how much damage that does? And then when they're like this, I wouldn't even bother trying to pressure them. Just get this to level 3 as fast as possible. And just get Cloud to attack as well. You can pressure at the same time if you really want to, because then you can see how much damage this can actually do.
It's on you. You ready? Right now. Focus.
Like I said, basically it does limit break damage, which is actually amazing. And you have free limits essentially. And there you go. So that's a quick explanation of how Zack works with that ability. And then I'm going to show you guys how my successful run actually went. The last fight was actually a little bit iffy, but I'll show you guys kind of a way around that and what the materia is like at the end, okay? Right, so like I said, I'm going to explain all the way through this. And on to the very first run. So this is the very first successful run I actually did. And this is after doing it a few times and kind of learning how they work. So this shield thing that Titan actually puts on himself, you can break with one High Braver once he charges after his, I think it's focused ire attack. So when he focuses ire on one character and he starts swinging around and then does sling into, I think it's thwack. Once he does that, he'll fall over and that shield will go away. And then that allows you to do major damage to his Earthern Aegis thing, which breaks it instantly. So this focused ire thing right here, it makes him stronger, but he does like a bunch of moves like this. And then he'll sling, but he'll fake it and go into thwack. Once he does that, this is your chance to break the shield. So do the charge up thing like I showed you guys. Get Braver out. There you go, instantly broken. Don't care about Zack taking damage because you want to make sure that Titan goes down ASAP. There we go, already charged again. Unfortunately, you can't switch out with Zack while he's doing High Braver, because otherwise he won't do the second and third part of it. But just switch out afterwards or use the moves before you go into High Braver. There we go, staggered. Time for Zack to charge up his moves. And Cloud can use Infinity's End as well to do some major damage. Just like that. Look how much damage this does, it's crazy. But obviously I haven't healed Zack at this point, so we kind of need to make sure he stays up for this to work. So just make sure to heal him back up a little bit. And then you can either wait for him to do his focused ire thing again, or you can just try and break it at this point. It does break, it usually breaks after about 2, I think. 2, potentially 3. And like I said, you can charge up after you parry as well, so just make sure to be utilizing that. I didn't actually notice it until about halfway through this fight. Like the entire fight, not just with Titan. There we go, we've got High Braver again. Pretty much almost broken right away. The other moves are good as well, like Chain Slash at level 3 can also be pretty goddamn powerful too. But I prefer the High Braver more because it gives you a lot more stagger. And it kind of knocks them out of animations. There we go. Titan down easy. So like I said, once you learn how to use Zack, this is 100 times easier. Like, this was the very first time that I had practiced with Zack, and I was like, oh, okay, so you can actually use this fairly consistently. And I got all the way through to Odin. Odin was a little bit of trouble, but I'll explain kind of when we get there about how that works. This boss is just a pain in the butt, with all the electricity and the fact that you can't really get in close to pressure it unless you use magic. I didn't really want to use my MP here because I know how long this slog is. I was just basically being patient and just keeping it at a distance and parrying when I could, and then using High Braver when I got the chance. So we're close to getting High Braver. There we go. And you see how much damage that does when it's not even staggered or anything? It's ridiculous. And then when it's doing things like this, you can just stand at a distance and charge it up to level 3 if you want to. Because it will charge, but you can parry the charge or get out of the way. I wouldn't recommend going in close while it's doing this if you're just going to use the High Braver strat. Just stay at a distance, charge it up, and then wait for it to get low voltage. And then that's your chance to just kind of run in and beat the crap out of it. There we go. Also attack with Cloud at the same time. Like, I'm focusing on Zack here to get his braver up, but you can also attack with Cloud just for more damage. I was just a bit too focused on trying to control Zack. Already half health. If you really want to, I guess you could throw out some magic with Zack, because you will heal half your MP, but I was just being careful, because I had done this too many times at this point, and I was just like, nope, we're just doing it this way, because it's going to be the most broken and quick way to do it. And for some reason, Zack just wants to stand in front of this thing and get attacked. Only reason I do this here is so I can get Zack to get infinite magic, so I can heal us. Because I don't want to go into the next round with low health or low MP. That's probably one of the best things they added with synergy abilities. The fact that you can do that. Give yourself infinite MP for a little while. It only works on Zack though. Cloud doesn't get that. He only gets his next level limit break.
Don't overdo it. Just in case.
Right, and we've got Braver again, but we don't have the bar yet. Now we do. But for some reason it ran out. That makes no sense, but okay. So it's supercharged again, so just back up. And since we've got infinite MP, might as well use a roll. I was going to say a Roga, but I don't think we used the Roga there. Yeah, it's quite hard to pressure this thing, because you're just going to get zapped if you get in close. So what I would try and do is just get in close, charge up, and then get the hell out of there with Zack, like that. And it's almost staggered. There we go. So now, use High Braver when we get it. And look at how much damage this does. It's actually ridiculous. Zack's limit break actually saves me during this run. Because at Odin, I had to get Zantetsuken a couple times, I think. It's either once or twice. This one can be quite annoying because you actually need to defeat the little summon things that Phoenix does first before you can actually damage it. But you can just build up Zack's ATB and his High Braver at this point, and then when they come out, you can just use them on them and it'll instantly kill them. The only reason I'm doing this on Zack is because he doesn't have the elemental magic that Cloud does, because you can't actually like change his materia, which is really annoying. So he just gets hit by all the fire magic from Phoenix. And there we go. Get this flan out of here. Yeah, Zack's abilities are amazing. They do so much stagger, so much damage. And I would usually get Cloud to fight that bomb there, but since I had High Braver, it goes down in like 2 seconds. One more thing to fight and then we can kill Phoenix. But at this point, yeah, you can just charge up your attack, just so you can get it done as soon as as soon as the last one comes out, and then we can pressure Phoenix. At this point I'm trying not to use it, because I want to do this first to get Zack to have infinite MP just in case he needs to heal, and also get Cloud's second limit break in case we need it. And then Phoenix instantly pressured.
Deal with that.
Get Zack to get a little bit more haste. And here comes High Braver. And it still hits Phoenix all the way up there, which is amazing. The thing is, I think if you pressure Phoenix, like if you actually stagger Phoenix, it does the rebirth ability, which is basically like its limit break, it's its summon ability when it leaves the field. So if you haven't got it down to like a certain amount of health, I wouldn't recommend staggering it, because I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But if you can kill it when it gets staggered, then go for it. I'm not sure if I actually do kill it here, because Phoenix can actually be quite hard to kill before it does the resurrection. Pretty damn close though. If I timed it a little bit better, I probably could have killed it before Rebirth Flame. But at least you don't actually need to fight the enemies when it summons them again. You can just instantly kill Phoenix. So yeah, Zack fell unconscious, unfortunately, but he'll get half his health back when we get into the next round anyway. No point in wasting MP to get him up. Right, this boss can be a proper pain in the butt. He's actually quite easy to defeat, but if you're not good with blocking or parrying, these moves can do a lot of damage. So I'm putting Bravery on Zack just so he can do a fair bit more damage to this thing. Get him barriered up just so he's got a little bit more protection. And let's make sure to keep him alive a little bit. And then start getting Braver charged up. And thankfully it charged back into us. So when it does this, you don't really want to attack it. It'll start doing the shield move. You can attack it until it does the shield move, but if you attack when it shields itself, it'll retaliate with a move like that.
Deal with that.
And also, since he uses fire magic and other things like that, Cloud's protected against it, but Zack isn't. Yeah, so now he's pressured. So now we do our usual thing, charge up Braver. Get that off. Get Cloud to do his thing. I would have rather just, you should have just Bravered with Cloud there, or do some sort of strong attack, because he would have been dead by this point. I just did this. I don't know why I did this. I think I just wanted to heal them up. I was being a bit too cautious at certain points in this fight, because this thing would have been dead now.
Keep it together.
And now it's dead. But as you can see, this Braver move is pretty overpowered. Against a lot of characters, well, a lot of these bosses anyway, that it's just insanely powerful. One of the ones I actually continued to struggle with was Bahamut, And Kujata as well, actually, because Kujata, you need to use magic on it, otherwise it'll do that tri-disaster attack. If you don't stagger it, well, pressure it from using its elemental weakness, it will actually just use tri-disaster after a certain amount of time, which actually does a lot of damage, even if you have elemental absorb magic on, because you can only absorb one element. So you do have to use MP here, unfortunately. So you can do the synergy ability just so Zack actually has infinite MP for a while, but as you can see, Braver actually does a fair bit of damage still, even without having this thing pressured. So just getting Zack protected a little bit. And at this point I'm like, you know what, screw it, let's just charge it up. And it does actually stagger them a lot, which is really good. If they're doing a move, it will usually take them out of it. And good thing is, it looks like you can actually cancel it, because if they're doing a move like that, you want to make sure you get away from it. Alright, here I'm just trying to get some MP so I can get us back to full health. Not MP, ATB. Yeah, so when it does this, you want to make sure you remove one of the elements, because once it gets all three, you're kind of screwed. It usually won't kill you, but it'll do a fair amount of damage. So just getting some ATB with Zack here, just so I can get some magic to get this off of it. Just checking its elemental weakness there. One more hit, there we go. Iroga again, or Blizzaga, either way, it's still an elemental weakness. I'm not sure if it's best to just use one of them. I think it's probably better to use just one element to get rid of it. And then once it's gone, at least you don't need to worry about the tri-disaster move. Annoyingly, Zack gets stunned here, so I can't really do much with spells. You can still cast with Cloud, obviously, but I'm trying to save as much MP with him as possible. And of course it dodges, because Blizzara and Blizzaga are annoying as hell spells. There we go, so finally we got one of the elements off. And now we've got it staggered. Right, so get Infinity Zen done with Cloud and then instantly do Braver with Zack. I don't know why I struggled a bit here. Didn't even get a chance to hit it before it got back up. And since we have this again, might as well do it, so we're saving our MP. So now we'll have enough MP to actually use spells as well, so we can get the elemental weakness away. Yeah, so it doesn't have all the elements to do Tri-Disaster here, thankfully. It took me ages to realize how that actually works. I always kept getting hit by Kujata's limit, which really annoyed me. So, Faraga, because that's one of its weaknesses at the moment. And at this point I'm just kind of throwing caution to the wind, I'm just trying to get this off as fast as possible. So it seems like two spells of the same element will take the element off of it. I don't know if it needs to be powerful spells, so you could potentially just use Fire, Fire. Just let me know what you guys think if it actually works for you. But as long as you remove at least one of the elements, you're all good. Kujata always seems to take ages with me. I don't know why. I don't know what Zack was actually doing here. Was he doing Braver? I think he might have actually been doing Braver there. Or maybe the chain slashes. And for some reason I messed that up. Which shouldn't have happened. There you go, Kujata down as well. So that's basically 5 down in pretty quick succession. This one's a little bit more difficult because he can do a fair amount of damage, and even though High Braver is pretty broken, he still doesn't take like huge amounts of damage. I don't know why I put Faith on here. You might as well just put Bravery on and just use the use Braver. But he still does take a fair amount of damage from the Braver. I'm just being a little bit more cautious here. Yeah, so at this point I'm realizing that he does actually take a fair amount of damage from just normal attacks. So I just start getting some of the ATB up so I can get this move on. And then Zack can actually cast some spells as well if he really wants to. But just make sure you don't get hit by Condemn. Be careful as well, because if you charge in right after it's done, same with Thanatosian Assault or Thanatosian Blade, whatever it's called. If you rush in right after that, it can still sometimes hit you from the back, which is very frustrating. I've had that happen to me a couple times. But like I said in my video where you play Cloud against the Iron Giant, you can pretty much just evade in the air. So yeah, Zack doesn't actually have Thundaga, so you kind of have to just make do with the other Aga spells. But as you can see, it does actually do a fair amount of stagger damage. So just keep continuing to hit it. Basically, this is what this fight's all about. You can use High Braver if you want, but just make sure you're avoiding Condemn and also the Thanatosian Assault. But yeah, I'll skip ahead to the next fight because this fight just kind of goes like this. As long as you're using High Braver or chain shots at level 3 or the meteor shots, whatever. Just lay into it as much as possible and try and get your synergy ability so Zack can use spells, because that'll pressure this thing a lot more and then you can do a lot more damage. So I'll see you guys in the next fight because like I said, this just kind of goes on like this.
trying?
Right, and with the Iron Giant done, we're on to one of the fun ones, Alexander. So we're 7 out of 10 so far. So haste up the party, just so we can get everything a lot quicker. Cast Bravery on Zack, just so he's a little bit stronger. Start charging that high Braver. And then get that cast. And look how much damage that does. Instantly breaks one of the arms. It's ridiculous. Grand Laser, pretty easy move to avoid. I don't even know that it's a move. Alexander's other moves are way more powerful than that. And there we go. Already pressured. So getting close. Get that stagger bar up. Avoid the laser, obviously, because you don't want to get hit by that. I don't know why Cloud is stuck behind Alexander at the moment, but it still seems to work, so it's all good. There we go. Already high Braver again, so let's see how much damage this does. Basically half its health, which is pretty good. And if you just wanted to keep attacking, you could probably do a bit more damage. But like I said, I was being a little bit cautious at this point because I'd done... I don't know how many times I've done this, maybe like 3 or 4 before I got it done. But it feels like you've done it about 30 times because of how long this fight actually is. Because you have to fight 10 in a row with no checkpoints, and you can't stop. If you stop, you have to go all the way back to the start. So just making sure Zack stays alive because we need him up. Don't have enough ATB. I keep forgetting you also need ATB in order to cast it. But here we go. Another high Braver. And I mess it up. So this is the only thing that can kind of get a bit annoying with Alexander. All these moves on the ground. Just ignore everything. If it starts doing light pillars and crap like that, just ignore them. We're just going straight for Alexander. If you start focusing on those, you're not going to have the damage to kill him before he does his judgment move. And I can't actually see what's going on here, but I still managed to do high Braver. So he's casting light pillars here, just focus him down. Just don't care about the light pillars, just go. The only thing you want to care about is those circles on the ground. Just ignore the pillars and just go for Alexander. And there we go, he's basically dead. Easy as that. One of the harder bosses down pretty easily. Not many more to go. And this one with Zack and Cloud is fairly easy because all you do to pressure these things is to use your synergy ability. And since we have 2 characters, it's easy, unlike Kate Sith where you have to fight it by yourself.
Don't overdo it. Brace yourself.
At this point, I'm just using moves just to try and build the little pips on the bottom of your bar so you can use your synergy abilities. Because we want to pressure this thing as soon as possible. This is basically a chill fight before the last couple strong fights. So use your time wisely here, just get prepped for the next fight. Try not to use too much MP and just kind of keep yourselves topped up. There we go, instantly pressured. Need to make sure it gets pressured and staggered, just like that.
Keep it together.
I don't know why I start struggling here at the end. I'm glad it doesn't kind of continue into my other fights, because it was really getting on my nerves here. Considering it's very easy to do. As soon as you see the square, you just press it. It's not like a super long time, it's not like a super quick timing either. It lingers there for quite a while. So it kind of pissed me off that I kept missing it at this point. But at least it's not a tough boss, so I wasn't too bad. I think at this point I didn't actually realise that you need to be behind the rocks as well in order to stay away from Psychotic Break. Yeah, this is when I didn't know about it. So I'm surprised that I didn't die. I actually managed to dodge it with Cloud somehow. But this was a complete waste of MP, getting Zack back up. Because all you do is stand behind the rocks. If you've seen my Kate Sith video, you literally just stand behind the rocks. And I only learned that after the fact. But now we should have our synergy ability again, which we do. So we can now cast that and pressure it again. And thank God that hit Zack, because if that hit Cloud, he'd be dead. So let's get this focus down. Like I said, I'm being quite cautious. So I make sure to heal us up, because you won't get all your health back, you only get half of it. So it's better to do it this way, because then at least I've got a little bit of extra room for it to heal me. And there we go, Mindflayer's dead. Next boss was one of the toughest ones for me, but once you figure out how Bahamut actually works, it's very easy. Because I kept getting Giga Flared every time I got to this point, but there's actually a really simple way to stop him from doing that. So just do the usual, get everybody buffed up. So haste, and then bravery, just so Zack has a little bit more there. So the way Bahamut's fight works is your synergy abilities, they can pressure Bahamut, but the only way I've found to pressure him consistently is to use your synergy skills, which I completely forgot were even a thing until I figured out how this fight works. So as soon as you use a synergy skill, it pressures him. And when he's doing the particle charge, if you use the synergy skills, which are the one that are on R1 and whatever button comes up, it stops him from absorbing the particles and charging up. So that's why I do defensive dash here, because it cancels out all the particles. So he doesn't actually get to a new level. So usually I would try and break the wings, and that would end up getting me killed most of the time, because for some reason I couldn't break the wings consistently or really quick enough. So what I would do is just use the synergy skill, which is the R1 and square or circle, whatever one it is, and then do it that way. Because that stops him from absorbing the particles. Basically, if you assess him, you see that the particles get removed when you use one of those skills on him, because it pressures him like that, and it removes them from the field so he can't absorb them. There you go. Defensive dash takes away the particle and also pressures him, and then he can't absorb the particles here, which makes it amazing, so we can just hammer away at him while he's doing nothing. And we don't need to worry about breaking the wings. Just use High Braver, yeah. I don't know why I was thinking about that there. So by this point in the fight, usually when I would have fought Bahamut, he would have already been in the Giga Flare mode, which is crazy how fast he actually gets up to that mode. But when you just use your synergy skills, it's crazy how fast you can get him pressured. Just make sure you keep them both up and healthy, because we're going to need them healthy for the next fight. So this can also pressure them at the same time, but I've seen that it doesn't really do it as consistently as your synergy skills. So you want to just make sure that you're using the synergy skill with Zack right next to Bahamut. If there's any particles on the field, just make sure you're using it, because they are free and it pressures them right away. So just synergy skill, defensive dash, there you go. He's already pressured again. Get Cloud to stagger him. And there we go. So he's staggered. So now we have free reign to do whatever we want. Get Cloud to do Braver. Get Zack charged up. Like I said, I don't know why it was taking so long here. I think I was probably nervous because I'd got to this point and I'd never really gotten Bahamut this far before. But you still do crazy amounts of damage even when he's not like staggered or anything, so you should be fine. So particle charge again. So he's actually managed to get up to his second mode. This is one before the Giga mode, but as long as you're pressuring him really quick, he won't get to the Giga Flare mode. So I just cast this on Zack as a precaution, just in case. And then we use Finishing Touch just to stagger Bahamut, while Zack can do whatever he wants here. I would recommend taking the particles away as soon as possible, so like right now before he can absorb them. So I'm kind of stuck in a little bit of an attack here, which is why Bahamut managed to absorb some of them there. So make sure that as soon as you see them on the field, use your synergy skills to get them removed. You do not want him to get to the Giga Flare mode, because if you do, you're pretty much dead, because he'll do it every like couple minutes or so as soon as he does it. There you go. Always do this. Just make sure it's always up. So just use your synergy skills just to stop Bahamut absorbing the particles and also pressure him so you can get him staggered ASAP. This part was actually kind of dicey. I thought he was just going to murder both of us before I managed to get this off. But I had to get some MP so I could use heals and stuff without going into the next fight with no MP. And Zack just managed to get that heal off. So same again, getting close, use your defensive skill, which is the R1 in the square. And then get him pressured as soon as possible. I don't know why Cloud just decided to go right past him there. And this should be death if we do it right. Close. Do another one before he gets back up. And same again. He's in Giga Drive mode now, so this is where we need to kill him. So he just managed to absorb enough particles because we didn't do it quick enough. And there we go. Before he does Infernal Rush, which is actually really strong, and then he pretty much does Giga Flare straight after. That's how you kill him. Still a bit of a dicey fight, but it's a little bit better. So for Odin, I've actually found a fairly decent way so you don't get Galahorn's warning straight away. You can parry a lot, like I do in this fight, but if you're not good with parrying, I would just say to get into Punisher mode and counter every attack that he does. because then you're 1-for-1, and then whatever attacks you do afterwards will put him into the pressured state. Because what happens is, if you're not good with parrying and you just take the hits, or if you actually take the hits full on, he basically gets more and more towards Zantetsuken. And once that happens, you're pretty much screwed, because he'll be in that mode the entire fight. And unless you have infinite MP to cast Re-Raise, then you're not really going to win this fight. So thankfully, while I was doing this fight, I managed to parry and block enough attacks and do enough attacks to him that he got put into the pressured state. A few times actually, because basically you just want to make sure that you're ahead of Odin in terms of what attacks have hit. So if he's hit you with more attacks or killed a character, he's going to be way closer to Zantetsuken. As soon as you see Galahorn's warning, you've pretty much lost. So if you see that, then I would just restart. Because unless you're going to be able to do crazy amounts of damage to him in the next couple minutes, he's just going to Zantetsuken you. I do actually have Re-Raise on Cloud. So, for example, I can use Re-Raise to resurrect Cloud and Zack if they both go down. Cloud also has Reprieve on, which is that thing where if you get basically taken out, you'll still have 1 HP. So yeah, he does Galahorn warning here. But since he's doing this, I do a few more attacks just to get him out of it. Because at this point I was thinking, oh, I've already lost. But if he does do Galahorn's warning, and you do a lot more attacks to him in quick succession than he can do to you, it brings him a lot further away from that stage. So this is the one you want. If he does Sleipnir's Furor, or Furor, whatever that is, this is the bit you want, because this is how he's pressured. And you know you've done more attacks to him than he's done to you at this point. And this is where you really want to lay on the damage. So sometimes he will actually retaliate with Reprieval, I think it's called, if you use an ability. But just make sure he's in some sort of animation so you can get the stagger off, because we need to stagger him as soon as possible. And then since Cloud has his limit, we're going to use Finishing Touch here. And then get Zack to get braver, hopefully. Yep. You can use your synergy ability if you want, but I would just suggest using braver, because we need to take his health down as soon as possible. So he's already at half health, which is great. It gets a little bit dicey near the end with this fight for me, just because he does actually get closer to Galahorn's warning, because he actually kills Cloud or Zack a couple times, and then he does actually Zantetsuken me a couple times. I had never seen him do this move ever, because he didn't do it when I fought him the first time in the one where you fight all the summons in a row. You just want to make sure you're on this side, and if you're on Zack's side, then you're basically just going to be slowed and you're going to be taking tick damage the entire time. So he's getting Sleipnir's Furor again because we've hit him enough. And like I said, if you sometimes do that, he will do that to you, which gives him a hit instead of you. At this point, if you're by yourself, I would just potentially just start using Punisher mode, if it's a move that you can counter. Because as you can see, he's hitting me quite a lot here, so he's getting closer to Galahorn's warning. And yeah, you want to make sure you're avoiding all that, because that was about 5 hits, and he also killed Cloud, which means he is pretty much on the verge of getting Zantetsuken. And like I said, we do not want that, especially when he's at half health. So if you can dodge a move, dodge it. If you're like not sure about your parrying skills, just dodge the move. Because as you see here, I'm getting hit a lot, and it's causing him to get closer and closer to Zantetsuken. These moves are good because they do a lot of damage and they do a lot of hits as well. And if you get a limit break, then that pretty much insta staggers him. So if Cloud got his limit break here, I could probably insta stagger Odin if I had Cloud's limit here, because the limit breaks do so much damage and so many hits that he basically gets into Sleipnir's Furor again, and then he's pressured, and then you can just do whatever you want with him. And he's miles away from Galahorn's warning at a point, which is what you want. So these attacks you need to make sure you're dodging. This attack can be parried, but for some reason I'm panicking at this point, because this is the first time I got to here. So I'm usually really good with my parries, as you guys have probably seen from my previous videos. But yeah, this gets a little bit dicey here. Temporal imprisonment, I would stay on one character if they have a limit, and when he's about to cast it, throw your limit out. Because here he actually trapped Zack, because I was on Zack for a second. But if you're on Cloud, for example, and you use the limit break, he won't be able to stop you here. So there you go, as you can see, because I used that limit break, he's now got Sleep Nurse Furor, and thankfully he didn't retaliate there, because if he did, I'm pretty sure Cloud would be dead. So what we're doing is we're just building up the ATB. We're going to use Infinity's End as per usual. Zack's back up, so we're going to hit him as much as possible. Because when he's staggered like this, we need to make sure we get as much damage as possible here. And Zack has a little bit of MP. He does actually manage to kill Cloud, which is very annoying. I would recommend just avoiding that move, because you need to basically mash parry in order to stop yourself getting hit there. So we're still doing fairly well here. And I don't know why I keep getting hit by that. I always used to be able to parry it. I'm actually really surprised he gets to Zantetsuken, because of the, like, he's actually on the back foot here, so I don't know how he does get to it. But it might just be because he's activated the move at the start, Galahorn's Warning. So anytime he activates that, he's basically on the way to getting Zantetsuken. But if you pressure him enough, well, if you attack him enough, you can pressure him with when he goes into the pressured state. But yeah, he's doing Galahorn's Warning again here. And it might just be because he hits me a few times, but I don't think he does. I'm kind of confused about how his thing works. Because he hits Cloud right here. Yeah, but it's a block. And now he starts casting Zantetsuken. The good thing is, though, Zack actually has Re-Raise on. And for some reason, Cloud didn't actually cast Re-Raise with Phoenix a few minutes ago, as you probably saw. It cancelled the animation somehow. So yeah, try to re-raise before he does this, but it doesn't work. So I end up getting killed. So yeah, there's no way to stop the damage here. If he does this, you're taking 4 9s. But the good thing is, Phoenix does a tiny bit of damage. Phoenix's limit break, well, his finisher doesn't really do very much damage, but it does heal your people that are still alive. So it heals Zack up a bit. And also, Zack is still alive because he had the thing that Cloud cast on him. And now we actually have our limit, so this is how we win. And thank Christ that is over, because that was insane.
All done.
Hopefully this has been helpful, guys. Like, I know I do ramble on a bit when it comes to these videos, but I hope me saying... Oh, there you go, trophy unlocked. I hope me kind of explaining how these fights work help a little bit. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure how Odin works, because when he gets Galahorn's Warning, it seems to trigger Zantetsuken, but I think if you keep him on the back foot, he can't get into it. But because he killed Cloud there and did a few attacks, I think he just got to it, because I pressured him a few times during that fight. But like I said, High Braver that Zack uses is pretty broken. And yeah, it's pretty easy to just stay on Zack and just do as much damage as possible. And hopefully this has helped you complete it, because these trials are actually brutal as hell. These ones should have been called brutal. Legendary, my ass. These are like the most brutal things ever. But yeah, the Sephiroth one I'll release at the same time today as well. I probably will have to release it later on at night, because I've got work and I need the internet for my work, and it will slow it down. So yeah, I've rendered this one and I'll upload this today, and you'll potentially get the other one later. So I'm just going to show you how Cloud's materia is. So we got the Sleek Saber, Cetra Embracer, Enhanced Expeditionary Medal for the level 3 limit breaks, Healing, Magnify, Healing, Magic Efficiency, re-raise, steadfast block, first strike, HP up, revival, ATB boost, empowerment, magnify, time, fire and ice, elemental. ATB charge up rate, attack power. And obviously we've got Phoenix as the summon. But yeah, the magic efficiency on re-raise just makes it so it's cheaper. So if you do need to use it on Odin to keep yourselves up, I would suggest using that. That kind of saved my butt there, because Phoenix for some reason didn't take the command and re-raise Cloud right away. But anyway, hopefully it has been helpful, guys. If it has, leave a like, share the video. I will be streaming on YouTube probably consistently in the next month or so. And if you guys want to see any more Final Fantasy videos, let me know, because I'm going to be doing some about the mini games and some of the other challenges, and maybe find some more broken builds you guys can use. But you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.